that there's a possible tornado there. So again, it's not just what we're seeing here. The computer programs, the algorithms that monitor the weather all the time on the NEXRADs are also seeing this. We're seeing it on Armor Doppler radar. We're fairly close to it with our radar. We have a very good view. This is the live view from Armor. And by the way, when the NEXRAD sends out that tornado vortex signature warning, it pops up on our Armor radar as well. So you can see it right there. So where's the most dangerous area? If you live from Taft just to the west, northwest toward the Baugh area, that's where the most dangerous part of this storm is. Now, as of right now, we do not have a tornado warning on this storm. Huntsville is keeping this with a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's a close call. One of the reasons probably no tornado warning issued, conditions really not that favorable. It would take an awful lot for this thing to put down a tornado. But when I see a hook echo like that on radar and that much velocity, I'm not going to take the chance. We're going to break into programming and tell you folks out there to take cover. Even on a day like today when conditions are not that favorable for tornadoes, I cannot completely rule out the possibility that we could have one. And even if the tornado doesn't make it to the surface, you can sometimes have very strong and damaging winds just down at the ground, even though the tornado doesn't reach the surface. So that's a possibility as well.
Hey, Dan.
So again, yes, go ahead, Spencer.
I'm watching a weather bug, and we've actually got a station in Fayetteville. We're watching the winds. This storm's actually about to go right across Fayetteville, so we're going to watch.
See what the wind is.
Watch as this storm goes by. Right now it's 69. Their winds are out of the southwest. They've been gusting to 15, but we can actually watch.
And they're getting rain too. Look at that. Just popped up to 500s there.
Yeah.
So it's coming up.
So we'll want to watch that.
All right. All right, so this is where we stand. We have one cell that we're really worried about. We have a strong cold front that's coming in from the west. That front is going to move through the valley here between around 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock tonight. We'll probably see another band of showers and storms with that, more than likely not going to be severe. Anytime you get a cell developing out ahead of a cold front, those are the ones you watch, especially if you get a cell that's kind of all by itself out of a cold front. Control room, let me illustrate that. Switch to the Viper display here, and I'm going to pull this back and show you what I'm talking about here. All right. This is the cold front. Here's Nashville. That's the front. Here it comes. Once this comes by, the winds are going to shift to the north. It's going to turn a lot cooler. Look at the cell north of Huntsville. That's the one that we think might be trying to produce a tornado. You notice that it's all by itself out ahead of the line. That sets off alarm bells to any meteorologist who does severe weather very often, because that's a bad sign. As a matter of fact, the Huntsville tornado on November 15th, 1989, almost the same situation. You had a very strong front coming in, and a cell developed out near the Huntsville airport, and it merged with the line right over the police substation, and that's where the tornado came down. Now, I'm not saying that's the kind of thing that's going to happen today. Conditions are markedly different. Conditions that day were very favorable for a damaging, deadly tornado. They are not today. More than likely, this thing is going to do some gusty winds, some small hail, but I can't rule out that it could put down a brief tornado touchdown for those of you in southwest Lincoln County. So go ahead and take your tornado precautions just in case. In case you've forgotten what those are, it's kind of simple. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stay away from the windows. Don't worry about closing them. Leave them open if they're open. Shut them. If you have time, it's best to shut them. And again, if you have nothing on your feet, you came home from school and you just got your socks and you're running around the carpet, put your shoes on and put yourself in a walk-in closet. Put your bike helmet on. Maybe if you have a football helmet, put that on. Cover your head. And then even if your house gets hit by a tornado, you're going to probably be just fine. A few kids who might be home and mom and dad's still not home from work yet, that's what you need to do. Turn your TV up, get into the closet, grab a pillow off mom and dad's bed. If mom and dad have a big walk-in closet, that's the one to go into. Just stay away from the windows, and I'll give you an all clear. Now, we're going to watch this probably for a few more minutes because I still have a bit of a hook echo. Let's switch back, if we can, to the live Armor display, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's Coldwater, here's Taft, Huntsville's down here, there's Ardmore. See the hook right there? It's not as bad as it was, so there's some good news. But this thing still has some good rotation, what we call a mesocyclone. Meso means small scale, cyclone is low pressure in counterclockwise rotation. So a mesocyclone is a small low pressure in the back end of this storm, and that's what we're seeing on the radar echoes right now. And I think it's not nearly as bad as it was, so this storm may be just about to weaken just a little bit. Let's hope that is the case. The atmosphere is actually more stable off to the east. It's not as unstable as this storm moves east. It should begin to weaken fairly rapidly. I am not forgetting about another thunderstorm I might mention here, and I'm going to switch off armor because the Columbus, Mississippi NEXRAD is much closer to this other cell. So I'm going to switch, and you're going to see the display change here. And I'm going to pull out a bit here because I want to show you another cell for those of you in Tishomingo County. Also, Spencer, you see that new cell behind and south of Pulaski? Are you looking at that? We might want to just make sure that's okay. I have not been looking at it. I've been kind of focused on this other one. It's just west of I-65 there. All right, I'm going to zoom in here on this storm just northwest of Iuka. I'm talking to you folks now in Tishomingo County, Mississippi. There's a fairly good thunderstorm here between Corinth and just north of Iuka. You notice there's no hook echo on this, and I'll look at the velocity. There may be a little moderate rotation in that, but that's not a big deal. The echo top's not high at all. So it's a thunderstorm with some lightning. I've just been watching this kind of out of the corner of my eye, and I thought I'd better go over and take a look at that because I know we have viewers in, of course, Waterloo and just north of Iuka in Mississippi. So those of you over there, there's no warning on that, and there shouldn't be. The VILDAT on that is getting up there, but not enough for me to worry about as far as hail. So just a quick update to let you know that that's a thunderstorm, and it's fairly strong, but it's not severe right now, but we'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to bring you back now to this cluster of storms just north of Ardmore, north of Huntsville, and north of Hazel Green. There's the cell that Spencer's looking at right now near Lester's, and then this is the cell that did have the hook echo. Now I'm going to switch to the high top NEXRAD and see what it sees. It's at a different angle. It still sees a bit of a hook echo, and I'll zoom in on this. And then, now the high top radar is right, I don't know if you can see my cursor. Yeah, you can. Right there is where the high top NEXRAD is. Actually, it's not. It's off that screen. I just zoomed in. But our radar is due south of this storm, and I'm going to switch now. We're doing a volume scan, and there is what we're seeing. But that's at 6.5 degrees. I am 17,000 feet up in the storm here, so I'm looking way up in the atmosphere where there's hail in that storm, and I can see still a little hail core. Probably, though, most of that is melting before it reaches the ground right now. So
Dan,
there's some good news there.
I'm still watching this particular storm west of I-65.
Yes.
Have you been looking at that?
Well, I just saw it. What do you think about it?
It's good. It looks similar to the other one. It's taking on that little hook echo there now. I'm showing it on our Doppler analysis.
Okay.
And it looks like, are you seeing any rotation over there?
I'm looking at that right now. Moderate, fairly light. The one near Coldwater Taft has still got some fairly good wind, but it doesn't look as bad now. That's from high top. I'm still in the middle of a volume scan here on Armor, and I don't want to take it out because we can get another nice 3D view of this cell, and that might even show a bounded weak echo region if we're lucky on it. So I'm going to stop that right there and go forward.
If you want to look at that for a second.
I see the hook echo on Armor. Yeah, it's trying to develop a hook echo. You want it? I'm going to do a 3D on that, okay?
Okay.
Here it goes. In control room, oh, I did something wrong. It didn't like it. Okay, I got to back up one. Hang on. There we go. All right, here comes the 3D on that. Wow. Control room, if you want to take the iris again, we're going to show you a live. This is a three-dimensional view of this thunderstorm. Top is about 42,000 feet. This is the storm southeast of Lester's, back still in Giles County. It's not the one in Lincoln County, and that's what it looks like right now. You can take that fold, and I'll go around it here with the computer, and you can see that it's got a fairly good core in it. I've just kind of did a cross-section of this. The reason we're doing the volume scan where the antenna is tilting up and down on Armor is so we can look at all levels of the storm. If we go back and do the thing you normally see on radar where you're always seeing one sweep near the ground, you can't look in the upper part of the storm and make one of these images. That's what I have Armor doing, that three-dimensional view right now, so we can see this cell fairly well. Now I'm going to take a quick look at velocity on this too. There's the velocity. Yeah, I'm not seeing any velocity over there at all on that second one. Okay, that's right. I didn't realize what time it is. All right, we're going to, in just a second, take a second and start the 5 o'clock newscast because it is 5 o'clock right now. So this is WHNT TV, Huntsville, Alabama. News Channel 19 at 5 starts right now.
Taking action, getting results. This is News Channel 19 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Elise Morgan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Greg Screws. We're tracking storms. Dan Satterfield, Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield in the Tennessee Valley Forecast Center, tracking the latest on severe weather. Dan?
Okay, back to where we are right now. We have 2 thunderstorms that Spencer and I are concerned about. One of them is near Coldwater in Taft. The other one is back just east of Lester's in Giles County, Tennessee.